But you got to get down or lay down. Because Alex said he wanted to change. He wanted to change cop society, right? He wanted to change the cop culture from the inside. But the problem is, in order to do that, you got to get down or lay down. Unfortunately, he got down all right. He got down and he laid down. He got down and he helped lay down on George Floyd, that which resulted in George Floyd's death. See, the thing that makes it difficult is you go to the academy, they teach you how to be a cop, and then you have to go out and get field training. When you're dealing with your field training officer, your FTO, that's who signs off on you becoming a cop. He gives you your snout. You can't get a snout without going through your FTO, right? So that's a joke. I'm not anti-police. I'm just anti-bad police. But here's the thing, right? You have to get that field training officer to sign off on you being ready to be a full-fledged cop. And you believe in your field training officer because that's who's really teaching you the ropes. Now, don't get me wrong, you learn what you learn in the academy, but once you get out there on the street and you're applying those lessons, that field training officer, he's the first true police officer, sheriff deputy that you're working with, whatever organization, institution you're going through. He's teaching you the ropes. He or she's teaching you the ropes. So whatever he or she is teaching you, that's what you're taking as what you want to go by. So the way they teach you is what you're going to initially do until you get experience and get the opportunity to develop your own style. So before the incident that happened with George Floyd, Alex didn't get some stuff signed off of because he wasn't aggressive enough. Derek Chauvin was like, hey, you need some more work, because that was his FTO, which is nuts with his background. Why would he be anybody's field training officer? But Minneapolis, that's not a place where people like you and I, people who look like me, not you and I, because I don't know who you are, I know who I am, but people who look like me, we're not so welcome. So now we get to the George Floyd incident, and we have Derek Chauvin showing up, takes over, and now it's knee and neck, and you have my man's Alex right there with him, helping him out, and he's put in a weird position where it's like, this don't seem right. But this is the guy who taught me the ropes. This is the guy who holds the keys to me being able to be a cop and to being able to actually change the system from the inside. But guess what? You're on the inside right now, and you did not have the mental fortitude. You didn't have the courage to change. I can't breathe, mama. I can't breathe. His neck, knee on his neck, and he's not even a threat anymore. Knee on the neck, and he's not a threat. But you want to change it from the inside, but you didn't have it inside of you to change what was happening on the outside. You were right there. You had your chance. So what did you do it for? Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like that's the easy thing to do, to push back on authority, to push back on the person who holds the destiny to your career. But I put it in the same category to a certain degree as I put those who have sex for jobs. They go, well, he sexually assaulted me because he told me if I didn't have sex with him, I couldn't get this job. Well, you wanted the job, right? So you took the sex. You made a conscious decision to be coerced into doing something that you didn't want to do to get something that you wanted, right? Now, as much as I can say that the guy who did that to you is a piece of shit, he's a disgusting person, I can also look at you and say that, hey, you are a victim here, but you're also a victim for your own desire for success. And at the same time, you're a victim of your desire of self-preservation in the environment that you want to be in, because Mr. Alex here could have stopped Mr. Chauvin here, but he was too, I assume that he was too worried about how that would go over just like somebody who wants a role from Weinstein goes, I mean, I don't want to tell Weinstein no, but I want this movie role, and I don't want him to tell other people that I'm not with the game. So I'm gonna give a little bit to get what I want. Like Parlay Pete says, you got to give a little ass to get some ass. And guess what? That's what happened. But what happens when it's goes deeper than that? What happens when you get a George Floyd, right? And now you're standing trial for aiding and abetting, you know what I mean? Because you didn't interfere or intervene when you were right there. What happens when you say that you were wanting to be somebody who wanted to create change from the inside, and damn it, less than a week on the job, you're a fucking rookie and you got a chance to make a change and you don't do it. If you wasn't going to make the change there, when were you going to make it? Or was it just lip service? Was it Angela Yee? Was it something that just sounded good, but you wasn't really about it? Because here's the thing. Most of us aren't about changing cultures. A lot of us are about blending in and doing what it is that we want to do. Most of us just want to just color in the lines, be just one of the guys, get paid, and go home. There's not a lot of Brian Flores's out here. There's not a lot of Martin Luther Kings out here. There's not a lot of Colin Kaepernicks out here. There's not a lot of Malcolm X's out here. There's not a lot of Marcus Garveys out here. There are not a lot of people who are actually willing to, how about I shake the room? And just as much as you think you're ready to shake the room and create change, you find yourself in a situation to actually do it, but it's uncomfortable because it's not set up the way that you want to do it. You're not ready for it. What did Kevin Hart say? He wasn't ready. Alex wasn't ready to stop Derek Chauvin from taking the life of a black man. And maybe he wasn't prepared for that day when he went to work. Maybe he didn't think it was going to happen. But damn it, we judge you on your results. We don't call Tom Brady the GOAT because he makes great passes in week 7 against Buffalo. We don't call him the GOAT because, he beat the Tennessee Titans in the first round of the playoffs. We call him the GOAT because when it matters, when all eyes are looking, he drives you down the field against the greatest show on turf to set you up for a field goal, and Adam Vinatieri kicks it right through the pipes and he gets Super Bowl #1. Or he just boat races Patrick Mahomes, beats him 31-9 for Super Bowl #7. And he's just absolutely immaculate for the other 5 in between. That's what makes you great, when you rise up in the biggest moments and you make a difference. I don't care what you do on a routine day. It's easy to be like, hey, man, hold on. Let's not do this. Let's approach it this way. Before there's any pressure. It's easy to have uncomfortable conversation with people who think differently from you. Oh, it's so easy. It's easy for me to get on this podcast and condemn oppression from the whites, oppression from the others, to be pro-black. It's easy to do that on this podcast because there's no pushback. And for those who push back, I tell you, don't listen. But it's much harder just to go somewhere, to go to the grocery store in a shirt that says Black Wall Street, or a shirt that says Blessed and Black, or a shirt that says Black and Called, or a shirt that says Stop Killing Black People. That gets a little bit more difficult because now you're making people uncomfortable. And you might make somebody that you like uncomfortable because of what you stand on. And unfortunately, this young Alex, who may have wanted to stand on something, he just didn't. He laid down. He got down and he laid down. But I'm not going to sit here and just condemn him for laying down, because so many of you will lay down. Hell, there have been instances where I've laid down. They weren't as serious. Fortunate for me, and moving forward, this isn't something that I use to think about. Are you going to get down and lay down? Or are you going to stand up? Because if you don't stand up, then what are you doing? If Malcolm X laid down, we wouldn't sell the hats. If King would have laid down, we wouldn't have had a dream. If Obama would have laid down, we wouldn't have hope that we could believe in. So in order to be a agent for change, you can't get down, you can't lay down. You got to stand up and stand out. Because young Alex, he had the opportunity to be a hero. But like the great knight said, you either die a hero or you live to see yourself become the villain, and he became the villain.